everyone. Welcome to today's summary class, GSS 101, Use of English. And I'm your lecturer for today. My name is Dr. Mrs. Juliet Ekpang, and the topic we'll be handling today is basic control of language, with particular emphasis on phonetics and spelling. Now, every word in every language has 5 properties. We have the property of meaning. Every word has a meaning. Every word has a spelling. Every word has a pronunciation. Every word has its class, belongs to a particular word class. And every word has particular ways in which they are used, which we call usage. Of interest to us in today's summary class is the quality of spelling and pronunciation. Now, if you're a user of the English language, you must have observed that there is a wide gap between the way we pronounce words and the way they are spelled. Let's take, for example, the word write, which is spelled W-R-I-T-E. If you pay attention to what you pronounce, the W is silent. Let's take another example, the word come, C-O-M-E. If you want to pronounce that word based on the way it is spelled, you may not get it right. That's because the last vowel there is also silent. So this gap, this discrepancy gave rise to the need for us to have what we call the phonetic symbol. Now, the phonetic symbol is a list of signs that guide the language learner on how to pronounce words. And you find these symbols being used in the dictionary. Right beside the entry, where you find the word in the dictionary, you'll find these symbols beside it, and your knowledge of the symbols will enable you pronounce the word appropriately. So in this class today, we'll be looking at those symbols. We'll also address some spelling variants. We will address double word dilemma. We'll address word configuration, consonant doubling, the use of possessives, homophones, and other issues that pose a problem to the language learner. Now, let's start with phonetics. Words are made up of individual speech sounds, and phonetics is simply the study of how these speech sounds are produced. I want you to do a little exercise with me. Please take out your palm, bring it close to your mouth, and then pronounce a word, any word. It could be your name. What did you feel on your palm? If you did this little exercise, I assure you, you felt some air, warm air in your palm. What does that tell us? That tells us that every word we pronounce is actually air coming out from the lungs, out through the mouth, or through the nasal cavity. Now, what differentiates one sound from another is actually what happens to the air as it moves through the stream, coming from the lungs, through the mouth, or through the nose. In order to effectively describe sounds, we need to understand that there are speech organs. And the diagram you can find there lists out the speech organs. We have the glottis, we have the epiglottis, we have the tongue, we have the teeth, we have the nasal cavity, we have the lips, the alveolar ridge, and so on and so forth. All these help in one way or the other to pronounce words in the English language. Now, sound classification. All sounds are classified in various ways. The basic classifications, we have the vowel and the consonant sounds. The vowel sounds usually come out more freely than the consonant sounds. We'll talk about that in detail later. But there are 44 English sounds in the English language. 20 of them are vowels and 24 of them are consonants. Now, the vowel sounds are further subdivided into 2 groups. We have monophthongs and then we have the diphthongs. On your screen, you can see a table showcasing the 12 monophthongs If you observe, there are some signs that have the little 2 dots by the side. That explains that those sounds are longer than the other. And you also have keywords by the side and some sounds or some alphabets highlighted to show you that those are sounds that we are referring to. We have the E, we have the E, we have the E, we have the A, we have the R, we have the O, and the O, you have the U in food, which is different from the U in foot. We have the A, which we have in cup, and the E, which we have in girl. And then we have the schwa sound, which we find in words like a go, a back, and above. And then you have the diphthongs. The difference between the diphthongs and the monophthongs is the diphthongs have a quality that looks like a combination of sounds, even though there is no clear demarcation between one vowel and the other. So the first diphthong we have here is the A sound, which you find in words like pay. You do not say pay, E, you say pay. So the A and the E come together to form the diphthongs, which we call the A sound. And then we have the O sound. Now we are second language users, okay? In our mother tongue, we have the O sound, which we have in words like okonko, okon. But the English language doesn't have that as a single or a simple or a monophthong. What we have is the combination of the O and the O sound to get the quality that resembles what we have in our African context as the O sound. So you have that in notes, you have that in no. And then the third one is the I sound, which you have in by, guy. All right. And the fourth one is the ow sound, and it goes on and on till the eighth one. So that's that for the vowel sound. Remember, we are just doing a summary class, and I believe that you treated these sounds effectively in your classes. Now, the consonant sounds are 24, as earlier stated. Now, we have the P sound, we have the B sound, we have the T sound, we have the D sound, and so on and so forth. Now, I want you to go back to what we had said earlier. Remember when we talked about the sound classification? We talked about vowel and consonant sounds. On the vowel sounds, you could classify a sound based on its place of articulation or on its manner of articulation. What do we mean by place of articulation? We're talking about the organ that enables you to pronounce those sounds. So if, for example, I use my lips to pronounce a particular sound, that sound will be labeled or classified as a bilabial sound. Bi means two, the use of two lips, bilabial, like the sound, sound, b sound. Those are bilabial sounds. We also have sounds that you pronounce using both the lips and the upper teeth. We call them the labiodental sounds. And then we have the dental sounds. We also have the alveolar sounds. The alveolar ridge is that a little swelling that you have just behind your upper teeth. Okay? And for a sound like the or t, you discover that the tip of your tongue rests on that little swelling, and it enables you to pronounce the sound. So we call those sounds alveolar sounds. And then on the manner of articulation actually describes how the air comes out from your mouth. Some sounds are pronounced and the air, there's a stoppage, probably the closure of your lips, and then a forceful move or explosion of the air from your mouth. And we call those sounds stops. For example, the sound. You shut your lips and then the air comes out forcefully. Those are stops. And then we have the fricatives. The fricatives are the sounds that the air comes out slowly, like the sound. Those are fricatives. It's also a fricative. And then we have affricates that are actually a combination. Their production is a combination of both stops and fricative. There's an attempt to stop the sound, and then it comes out suddenly. We call those kinds of sounds affricates, like ch, which you have in church, sh, which you have in shop, she, and so on and so forth.